Hi, everybody. How are you doing? It is Ethel here, your psychotherapist here on He Matters. Happy New Year. We've entered 2021. Wow, we've made it. I'm so excited about what we have in 2021 and how we're going to walk the journey of mental wellness together. I hope you're doing fine. Please drop me a message to let me know how you are. And also, remember, when we finished 2020, we talked a lot about depression, and oh my goodness, there were so many questions that came through, and people were experiencing symptoms of depression and need help for depression. So I am very aware of that, and thank you to those of you that reached out. And I hope you're slowly starting to get better and taking into account the things that we talked about in the previous sessions. Now, I did promise that we would then start to link depression with anger and how anger plays a part. So today, I just want to start us off just really understanding what anger is. So anger is an emotion that we said is usually very prevalent in people who are experiencing depression, especially men. So there's anger and irritability, and it's one of those key signs that maybe there's an underlying problem. So I want us to just walk this journey on trying to understand a little bit more about anger and also how we can manage it. So today I'm just going to talk about what anger is. So anger is an emotion that we experience, and most people or have experienced at some point in their lives. But we said that it's associated to depression and more prone in men. And I gave the example previously of when sometimes you come into the house and maybe the kids haven't put away the shoes, and you're thinking, my goodness, I've said it 1,000,001 times that the shoes need to be stored away. And then you start shouting, you start throwing things around, maybe even banging doors. And then after a while, the thing with anger is once a person has expressed that level of anger, after a while, they feel even worse because they start to question themselves and think the level of anger I've displayed does not really warrant the anger, the anger that the situation would entail. So rather than just reminding the kids that they need to put the shoes away, you just blow up. And it's not that you want to, but because you haven't been taught or found ways of actually containing and managing your anger in a more helpful way. Now, the thing with anger is when it is out of control in that way, is that a person finds themselves having those anger outbursts as often as possible. And just imagine what it's like for the people who are around that person. It's very, very scary. Anyone who lives with someone who's got anger issues or anger problems finds it very scary, and it can be very traumatizing for everybody else that you share the household with, or even at work. If you're finding that you're having an anger outburst wherever they are, whoever is experiencing it, actually it can be quite traumatizing for that person. So what we need to do is to really start to understand what is triggering your anger. So the first step that I want you to take today is to really think about what triggers my irritability and my anger. And a lot of people who come into therapy actually haven't really stopped to think about that very question, which is, what is it that triggers my emotion? Because remember, anger is not a bad emotion, it's a healthy emotion. Because, for example, if someone walked into your house and tried to burgle you, you wouldn't just stand there and say, carry on. You would get angry and say to them, look, leave my house, if it was safe for you to actually do that. So you would fight or flight, use that response. But when anger does not warrant outbursts, do not warrant a situation, given the example that I've just used there, like you really fly off the handle, or someone bangs the door, they're those irritants, like someone is chewing with their mouth open, you get really angry and irritable, or someone bangs the door by mistake and you just get really, really angry, or someone is sniffing, or they're those little irritants that people sometimes cannot stand, and sometimes people get really angry and lose their temper over it. So it's about, the first step is really about you understanding, what are my triggers? What are the things that cause me to be irritable? Is it someone chewing with their mouth open? Is it somebody sniffing? Or is it someone, banging the door, banging my car door all the time? Or just when it happens, or someone leaving the shoes in the hallway, or the clothes not packed in the wardrobe, or whatever it is, or the towels left on the floor in the bathroom. What are the things that are irritants for you? And then what are the things that actually cause you to have those blow ups? So when you've had a blow up and really, let loose that anger, and everyone around you is trembling with fear, I really want you to think of those situations that it's happened and really start to ask yourself, what was it that led to me blowing up in that way? Is it because I had told this person to not repeat their behavior so many times that I just got fed up? Is it because I was feeling a bit low and there were other things that were going on in my life at the time? Is it because I was feeling acutely stressed and I just couldn't cope anymore? Is it because my sleep was affected and I just couldn't tolerate any further discussion or what was going on? Is it because I had some other pressures that were going on in my life that actually caused me to experience an anger? So I want you to just take the step of starting to notice what triggered your anger, the times that you had that outburst. What was the trigger? In the next session tomorrow, I'm going to be talking to you about what to do. What is the next step once you've identified the trigger? You see, we can't resolve anything that we don't know what the trigger point is. So what is the trigger point? Remember, irritants. What are the things that irritate me? Because over time, as those irritants continue to build up, they're going to lead to that blow up. And also, what are the things that cause me to then just blow up? And also remember, when we bottle up our emotions and we're not communicating, again, which is something that we find that men are not really that good at communicating their emotions. You bottle up those feelings and bottle them up and actually are not true to yourself, or maybe express exactly how you feel. There comes a time when it's just that final straw that you blow up. But the problem is, when you do blow up, when you then do lose your temper, you do something that you know that you will regret maybe even for the rest of your life. So I want to walk you through how we can start to manage the anger and how we can start to communicate our feelings so that we're not bottling up those emotions. But your homework and your task right now is to think about what triggers my anger, the times that I've got angry, what is it? And I want you to just write down, even if you write down 3 things, like actually, I just had enough, this was happening for a long time, or actually I was going through such a stressful situation, or I just lost my job, or something significant had changed in my life, and I just don't know. The answer could be, I just don't know. Something underlying was happening, but I can't pinpoint what it was. Whatever it is, I just want you to just write those things down. If you can, please send me a WhatsApp message with what your triggers are. And then I can pick that up in our session tomorrow and expand on it and walk us through what we need to do next once we've identified the triggers. I hope you found this really useful. Please share this video with your friends, your family, and everyone around you. And I'm so excited with all the work that we're going to be doing together here on He Matters. Remember, this is a platform where we're championing men's mental wellness. We need to fix it in here for it to actually work for us in all other areas of our lives. I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm so glad that you've listened to this video. Please like and follow the page. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the page and like the video so that more and more people can actually join in on this journey of us learning about anger and how to manage it. I hope you found this little short clip really useful. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Good night.